So you be Louise. Hi, my name's Louise. My name is Laura. Meow, meow, meow. What do you want? This is overweight pussycat. Overweight pussycat going. Ah! Do not show her.
Hello and welcome to today's video.
Well, you're not actually.
We have kids and critters here today, and I just got notification for my own video. How funny is that? Hey, remember what we talked about? We're not going to just like randomly make faces in the screen because that's not cool.
Mommy, can you cut that out of the video?
I can't because this is live. Everybody's watching right now. So if you're new here, my name is Brandy. This is Tova with Louise, and this is Bodie. And
Do not show me.
what I've been doing is every day, Monday through Friday, I've been doing live videos with my horses, kids, whatever happens to be going on that day. And then on the weekends, I'm also posting videos that I have edited. So this is what I call the Corona Chronicles. So in today's video, now Tova, don't spill the beans, okay? Don't say who it is. In today's video, we're gonna be talking about my least favorite horse in my herd. Don't talk about it. Can you guys guess which horse is my least favorite of my entire herd? Don't say anything. You can't say anything. So, oh no. Okay, so yeah, kitties, and so let's talk about Louise a little bit, Bodie. Do not touch me in the head with a branch.
He loves her so much that he wants her to be a house.
So let's talk about Louise. Louise, I believe her breed is a Phoenix. We got her from somebody that we know, and she is just the sweetest little chicken ever. And the kids carry her around everywhere. You may talk.
One of the first days that we had her in the small barn, she flew up to the shelf. She flew on top of the chicken coop the other day. She can fly very good.
Don't believe me. And this chicken, okay, so this chicken goes everywhere with the kids. She's so sweet. And then
come here. This is Lila playing with a branch. This is Lila playing with a stick.
Lila and Louise. Okay, so all right, let's go out and we're gonna talk a little bit about my least favorite horse.
And I'm gonna be riding it.
I just snorted.
That starts with
Okay, so yeah, my kids are gonna join me for the whole live today, so we'll see how this goes. Hey Bodie, come get your pony. So the kids are gonna ride.
I'm riding a horse.
Okay.
As soon as you see me walk out with a horse, it's gonna be her least favorite.
Yeah.
Do not show me on camera. Oh, and also he's this.
She is handling, Tova is very respectful with the chickens. So she does get a little excited, but chicken comes and finds her right away and is very, very happy to be held and go and do all the little things with us. Hi Lucy, thank you so much for super chatting. Thank you, I really appreciate that. That's awesome. So I just realized that I left my hose running. So my water tub is overflowing. So great. All right, we're gonna head out here and I'm gonna set the camera on a tripod. We'll see how it goes. Okay, here we go.
It's in the first stall. Mom, are you gonna eat some? Mommy, do you think she's gonna eat it? Stop. See, she ate it.
You don't push her head down though, honey. Just let her eat.
Oopsie doopsie. You made $20 already. Oopsie doopsie. Oh, she ate some.
Keep it down here. Chickens see out in front of them like that. You hold it there, she'll more than likely think about it. Louise rides around on my husband's shoulders too.
Like this.
Okay, we have a couple horses in here. I'm gonna shut my hose off. Okay, it's time to go put Louise away so we can focus on our ponies. There's stall number 1 and stall number 2. Actually, stall number 3 and stall number 4.
he's like, oh, I miss mom.
My kids have not ridden in over a month, so we'll see how this goes.
A month. Over a month. Over a month. Over a month. Tell you be Mika and I be Louise. No, I be Louise and you. Hey, bear. He nipped at me. He bit me.
Well, you probably had too much energy going on for him. Remember we've talked about that? All right. Well, I'm going to go get the pony. I'm going to let you guys kind of come and hang out here. I was hoping to have ponies in already. We're going out to get Rosie. So I'm going to walk out there and I'm going to leave the camera out here for you guys.
Mommy,
Can you what?
can I hold it? I won't shake it, I promise.
No, you're not holding the camera. Definitely not. You'll make people seasick.
I will
Bodhi?
not shake it.
I need you to go put Louise back up by the coop, okay?
Please, I'll be
Nope.
so careful. Mommy.
Absolutely not.
But you let me video once.
Bear is in the stall with Manza right now. They are in the paddock together. So, all right, I'm going to set this here so you guys can just look at horses while I take a meander out. Please don't touch that. And since my fence is broken right here, I can easily get underneath. You're going to stay there, okay?
No, I'm coming out with you.
You know what? Actually, I would rather you come with so you don't take that camera. I know you would.
How do I walk her?
You're not going to go through there. You're going to go through the gate. I'll open it for you. Take it easy. And you're going to hand her off to Bodhi. Go ahead.
Bodhi, here's your...
Okay. Now that we have... Did you get zapped? No? Oh, fence isn't working. Okay, so we're going to go in.
Happens when you get
Hey, Tova, do me a favor. Do me a favor. Run and take that hose out of the water tub, please. And just throw it on the ground. No, hey, why are you stuffing your gloves in my pocket? You should be wearing these.
They're soaked.
Oh, I got wet gloves already. Thanks, Tove. Just pull it out and leave it on the ground. Good job, honey. And I'm going to... Hey, no, Bodhi, don't let her walk through that stuff. Get her out of there. Oh, gosh. So Lucky is in already, and I'm gonna grab him. Bodie's got the pony stuck in the cat. Tova, don't let Cat knock this over, okay? Okay, you got her? Mom, you got her? You good?
Yes, I found this food.
Oh, yucky.
Mommy, there's mud on my boot.
I'm so sorry. Okay, here, wipe it off on my pants. The cat is knocking the camera over, and the kid's got stuff in her boot, and the pony's trying to eat everything. Welcome to my life.
It's in there.
Yuck. Oh, I'm sorry. Missy, you probably can relate, hey? Your feet are cold. That's great already. See, I told him, do not walk through any water with your cowboy boots. Do not. I didn't. He says I didn't. I watched him do it. I totally watched him do it. Tova, here. I'm going to put this right here. Tova, you're going to keep the cat away from the camera or hold her. Why don't you hold her? She'd probably love that.
Oh, someone just sent you some dollars.
Some dollars. It was a few minutes ago. There. You hold her. Okay, now get the pony out of here, Bodie.
Oh.
Pick it up. Pick it up. Here, go for a walk.
What do we have, a cat?
Here.
Take that off. Hi, how's it going? I have a pony in the background. And here's Lily's favorite horse.
Tova, I want to kind of like explain why and stuff first. Great, thanks for ruining it. Spilling the beans. Way to go. Okay, Bodie, walk up to the arena.
Yes, like yesterday. I think it was this morning or yesterday.
I'm stealing it before she tells any stories. Okay, I'll explain. I will explain when we get to the arena.
And I'm gonna be brushing his mane because it's icky.
We got 2 ponies that haven't been ridden in over a month who are crabby with each other.
Mommy, do you know what I might do?
What?
I might get a little bit of muffin. And a little bit of bear.
Today?
Yeah.
You're gonna ride 4 ponies?
And maybe
I should have had this turn around. It just almost wiped out.
maybe just a little bit of a.
Okay, we gotta watch Tova. She almost fell twice.
Mommy, I think we should name, if we get another cat, I think we should name it Miss Kittykins. Kittykins.
Kittykins? Yeah, okay. All right, walk on, children. Off Garfield? Down. Dancing queen, you gotta brush a pony. Come on, get down. Get down.
Right to the right, to the left, to the right, down, down.
All right, so.
Mommy, where do I, how many?
Hold on to her for a minute, honey. Okay. We're gonna put Rosie over here. So hopefully we can get both ponies in the...
Hurley's favorite. Hurley's favorite.
No, I'm really not comfortable with Rosie being over there. Bodie will have to walk behind Lucky a little bit too much, and I don't like that. So I'm going to put Rosie over here, and I'm going to tie her long so she can keep the stuff off the ground. Bodie, why don't you go get your brushes, honey?
No, I do not want to stand anymore.
Your feet are wet? Run in the house and change your boots, okay?
I don't want to move. Moving.
you, Vic. That's very kind of you. Vic, oh, kitty.
It's Jackson.
Oh. All right, I'm gonna try to find a better spot. You know what? I think I'm gonna go get the tripod from the other section here so I can put that up because then the cats can't be on it. So, well, the connection is bad. Okay, is everybody here? Can everybody hear me okay? All right. So I have an idea, and I'm gonna go put, the camera over in the corner that you guys are usually in, and I think that you should be able to see the tack up from there. So that's what I'm gonna go do, and from now on, that might just be kind of our spot. So I'm gonna take you over there, and you guys are gonna tell me if there's any issues, okay? We good so far? We good? Okay. No connection all of a sudden? Good? Okay. Oh, crap. Sorry. What is going on with the video? My gosh. It's good. Okay. Well, here's what we're going to do. I got this door here. Look at that. We got a couple ponies. I'm just going to remove this. There. Now you guys can see everything. That's cool. Is he shedding bad, Tova?
Yes.
Okay.
I use the shedding weight already.
Okay, cool. Now, if you notice, Rosie is able to reach the ground. Okay, I'm right here, but I'm watching every move she makes, and I am able to fix it if we have a problem. I would not recommend tying a horse that low, okay, with a rope that long, because it's not safe if you're going to walk away. But I know exactly what to do if she should get stuck, and she's used to this. So do as I say, not as I do situation. What? Okay, I'll be right there. Just take this. Oh, I left the bag in the other barn. Oh, look. Hey, buddy.
Why is he always here?
I'm going to explain all that, but I'm going to have you get on it first, I think. Okay? I'll be right back.
I can't get all this off.
That's okay. You don't have to get all that off. outside first real quick and then I'll help you in a second. Good job, honey. Way to go. All right. Is everybody still there? Can you hear everything okay? Or see everything? I'm guessing that everybody's okay. Perfect. All right, so I'm going to give Tova a hand with these feet. Where'd my gloves go? And I'm going to quickly brush Rosie because Rosie had to run up to the house to get dry boots because, of course, his feet are soaked. So you're going to do Rosie? Oh, ew. Something like what's in my pocket.
What? Hey, Rosie.
You didn't finish his feet, okay?
I only did one.
You did one?
The closest one to number 2. Rosie's feet are expecting dirty.
All right, get them cleaned up real good. probably going to want a Western saddle.
Yeah. Can I do a Western saddle?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because I don't really like cancer in English or any of that.
No, that's fine.
Because it's hard for me to canter on bareback now because I punch my feet up.
Yeah.
I did that.
You'll get over that. That's because you've taken a couple of good diggers. But you'll get over that, I promise. We'll work through that. You know, if you switch your hands, you get less likely of a chance of her setting her foot down. So try swapping your hands, and then I'll explain why. So try it. Just switch. Here, I know, but I want you to. No. Hey, pick up. Pick up. We're going to be a good example here. So now, hold on with this hand. Good. Here's why. Can you feel how your arm is against her? I know you're right-handed, so you'd rather use your right hand than your left, but you feel how you got a real good grip on her leg? If she were to try to pull away from you and kick you, you'd have a lot more feel there as to what's happening, and so it'll keep you safer. But that's good. You can put it down. Good job. Thanks for trying. Okay. Let's get a brush after her. You grab second blade, I'll grab the curry. We'll get her cleaned up real good.
No, you're doing what?
I already did. Yeah.
So I don't have to brush mine anymore?
Oh, he's done.
That one's the better one?
No.
Is this one the better one?
You grabbed the shedding blade, that's why I grabbed this one. I think they're equally as good.
She's like, I love it. When horses get their loose trip, it's the same thing as when they get
What?
a big giant chunk of hair hanging on the string.
Oh. Oh my goodness. Wow.
When might not come back out.
You might not. We'll see.
If he doesn't, hooray, I can try this pony.
There's a lot of hair going on here.
And you get to leave me around.
I'm not leaving you around on her
Why?
because you can handle her yourself.
Oh my
I'll
gosh.
leave Bodhi, but I'm not leaving you.
You don't have fear.
Well, not enough yet.
Mommy, look at how much is coming out at once with mine.
Look at my side.
Can I switch sides? Can I switch sweating blades?
I don't care.
Okay, side.
Oh, excuse me.
Please.
Oh, don't do that so hard. You
Go
gotta
on the other
you gotta be
side.
gentle. I will go on the other side. My goodness.
I have more hair that I put out.
And it's not yours.
Mine. Mine. I do her back legs too. I still have more off. More.
Oh, she does have a bunch of hair hanging on her.
Told ya.
Good mat. I got it. Oh my goodness.
Move it on.
Stand up though, babe. Oh, gentle.
I still have more off.
That's because I got all that off.
I just asked if we could switch sides so I could get more of this side.
You just wanted all the hair on your side? Well, this side's looking pretty even now. Be gentle. Gosh, did you ever stand directly behind a horse? No. Exactly. Yeah, well, we have people watching, and you don't want to set a terrible example like me right now, standing right behind. But you know what? We are taking a big risk by standing behind. We take a risk by standing behind our horses.
shed it this way because you're gonna get hair in your mouth. Mom, you should use all that for the cat nest.
You can if you want. We'll find a box. I have one.
Well, I already know where it is.
Well, no, I have another one. I think we threw that box away.
No, I didn't.
No?
No.
Don't stand right in front of the camera there, baby. You don't have your back of your head. Okay. I think that's probably what we're going to do. Okay. Now, remember to approach him properly. Do not run. And you want to let him know you're there, so look through space so he can see you. Good job. Lucky only has one eye, so it's really important that when we approach him on the left side, that we wait until he turns his head to us to see us.
Is this good?
Yep. Or we talk to him too. We don't want to surprise him. You're just getting stronger. It should be hanging up on his hook, honey.
Mommy, can you start bumping it up?
Nope, that's all you. I'm not doing it yourself. Okay, but I will put Rosie's on. Yep, you got it. Good.
Mommy, I need help with this one part. Huh?
Nope, breast color last.
Then what can I do?
Did you get the...
I need help. And I forgot how to tie it. I can't remember my tie. What now?
Loop it through twice.
Loop through what twice what?
Go.
How is it twice?
Go.
That's what I don't want to do.
Hey. Settle down and just start. Think on it. It might come back to you. It will.
Mommy, stop moving. Oh, twisted. Why doesn't it just come like come side and come everything? Hi, Mommy. I picked your horse's feet for you. Hey!
You should say thank you. Your horse is ready.
I love that part.
You can pick her feet again if you want. She won't mind. Why do you have the bird again?
Huh?
Come over and show everybody. Camera's over here.
Now what's left of the two loops? Mommy, here
Down on the left.
is Louise. Here is Louise. This is Louise. One of the most friendliest chickens. And one of the most cutest. She is a pony. And she just flew off. Oh, got her. Here she is again. Get a closer look. Oh, you have stuff going. But they all disappeared. Oh, another thing!
Yeah, don't touch anything, buddy.
Right.
Don't touch it.
They go by too fast.
Bodie, don't touch it. Just come here. Okay, we need his breast collar. Okay, so we gotta find out.
I can ride in the saddle.
Don't put the chicken on the. Come here, Louise. Come here. Please go put her in the coop. Okay? No, you can go into the coop. Please go put her. Bodie, will you please take me to the coop?
Hey, Bodie.
Don't worry about this hair right now. Come on. No. You want to take it to the chicken coop? Okay, here. Take that hairball to the chicken coop. Okay.
And take this.
Settle down with the hairballs. Oh my gosh. All right. That was good. Now we're doing the breast pump. Let's get breast pump. Good job. Hey, Rosie.
I can't clip it, Mommy, with these gloves on.
Okay. I can.
The breast collar is the hardest part.
Yeah.
Can you do the breast collar?
I'll help you. I can do it for you, but I'll help you.
It's hard for me to do it. And it's hard for me to buckle the things up too.
Under here. Alright. You can do these with clothes on. You're gonna do it up, and it's gonna go on the tightest hole, it looks like, okay? Tightest hole, yep. Okay. Everybody still there okay? It really doesn't help when I put a battery charger on my thing, but I forget to turn the battery charger on. Okay, now we shouldn't run out of battery. Are you guys bored watching us yet? It's kind of like a process. It's quite a process. So Bodie went to put the chicken away, and Tova's almost done. She was complaining at first because she couldn't remember how to tie the knot, so she thought. Okay, and that's kind of usually how it goes. Like, kids will be like, I don't remember how to do this. I don't remember how to do that. And I told her, I said, just start going on it. And if you need help, then I'll help. So she started going on it, and I go over there, and she had it completely done up herself. So, and I knew that would happen. But she's having issues with the snaps and stuff with her gloves on. And so I'll help her with that stuff because I don't want her to take her gloves off and then her hands freeze. And your helmet. So, and then Bodie, I do his pony up for him still. He helps out quite a bit. He really is really good for being 5, helping out with his pony. But kind of just want to get it done quick. So, but he is really good about doing it all up himself. He's getting there anyway. I did a cowboy camp over the summer, and that was really fun because it was all boys, and boys are so different than girls as far as like teaching goes. It's funny because when I do my horse camps and I've got all girls, they're just so interested in braiding everything and spending the time with the horses and doing all these things, where the boys are like, they really like the work part of it. And they wanted to, you know, do their riding, and then when they had free time, they were like building a fort. Where the girls, when they had their free time, they were coloring. So it's funny how that works out. So just finding things to fit each of them. And Tova just zoomed from one side of the barn to the other. I'm working on her with her energy. She has a lot of energy, and and so, you know, I tell her, like with the puppy, sometimes she'll go to pick up the puppy, but she has so much energy that the puppy doesn't like that. So, energy.
Great.
Settle down. Thank you for doing that. So, but anyway, we're working on that. It's coming along good. All right, where'd your brother go? Would you go holler to him? Go out the door and holler to him and be like, Bodie, it's time. All right, so again, Lucky has not been ridden in over a month. Tova has not ridden in over a month. So we're going to see how it goes. Now, and once the kids are on and riding, I'll talk about my least favorite horse and why. But I want to have 100% be able to tell you about it. So one thing about having kids around horses, you know, when horses have kids around them frequently, as you can see, kids like to, don't do that. Go elsewhere, duck. Here, let me see. Okay, go. But having kids and horses around each other, it's good for the horses because they get used to all the chaos that goes on with kids. So, and kids have to learn they can't do certain things. So you know not to run up behind a horse because you could get kicked. Yeah. And you've seen people get kicked, and you've seen a lot of.
I haven't seen people.
Did you see Courtney get kicked at camp?
Nope, I wasn't there.
Oh, you didn't see it? Where were you? Feeding or something? Anyway, you've seen horses kick at other horses while riding. You've definitely been part of that.
Yeah, no. Remember, like Megan and Lee's sisters got in a fight.
The horses did.
One were riding Lucky, and one was riding Bear, and they went
butt to butt. Ponies get mad at each other and turn their butts to each other.
And I've also seen a horse not even bucking at another horse. Yeah. Beck was pulling her on a show halter, and then she went when she was jumping over. Daisy, when she was jumping over.
Oh, Daisy. So, stop standing on that. You're going to fall.
Can you turn it so I can show them in the arena? Give me an example.
I will turn it in a little bit.
No, I want to show them.
No, not right now, Topher. Okay. All right. Do you want to keep your hat on? No. You want to keep it on?
Well, it can be off.
Take it off. Just don't bump the camera. Come here. Velcro. Don't be.
Does it?
It does have some Velcro, but.
Ow.
Is it too tight? Okay. All right. Go untie your pony, please. No. All right, Bodie. Can you untie her?
Yeah.
See these blocker tie rings that I use? That is one thing I really like about them is the kids, for the most part, can untie their horses completely by themselves. So it's been a huge time saver for me. Just one more job the kids can do on their own. I love that. Good job, Toad. Oh, and here we got Muffin's halter on him. He doesn't even have his halter on. Okay, so I'm going to put this up, and then I will turn you guys around so you can see what's going on in the arena. Let's see. Hey, Bodie, go for a walk out the arena. Why do I have to go out this way? You cannot go through there. You cannot go through there. gosh. Okay, let's see here.
I'm ready to get on.
You ready to get on? Okay.
I took one more.
You took a lap? Okay, good.
And this is the least favorite horse. Yep.
We love Lucky though. We absolutely love Lucky. And I'll give some reasons here in
What's your
just a
second
minute.
least favorite horse? I didn't even smell it. What's your third least favorite?
I don't know. I'd have to really think on that. So, it does. Okay, so let me, Bodhi, don't come close, honey. Keep your distance.
Like this?
Yep. So I'm going to explain.
Why Lucky?
I'm going to explain something.
Why Lucky is your least favorite horse?
Yeah. Well, no, I'm not going to explain that yet. I'm going to explain. Today, Tova is going to be riding Lucky with a bit. He does have a bitless bridle as well, but he does get pretty, like he knows that he can pull riders around with it pretty easily. So she's going to use a snaffle bit for bridle today. And, but after she rides him for a while and gets going again, then, you know, we could switch back to that. But I like how he goes with a bit compared to riding him in anything else. So, all right. Now, Lucky was quite the stinker to bridle when we got him. And he had all kinds of tricks up his sleeve. As far as, hey Bodhi, I would like you to go that way a little bit, honey, so I don't have like so much happening in this corner here. So Lucky had a lot of tricks up his sleeve for how to get out of being bridled, and his favorite, tricks up his hoof, sure. His favorite was to smash you in the head with his head, so that was super fun. He'd do that with the halter too. When you go to take it off, he'd fling his head, and he's whacked me in the face pretty good before. So, but he is pretty darn good to bridle. But when I'm teaching people how to bridle, and they're not very good at it yet, Tova, don't climb on that because it'll fall over, and that would be bad. So, if you've never done a live video with your kids before, I tell ya. I feel like a very brave individual right now doing this. Oh. So, okay, here, would you go hang this up, please? So when we're done, we'll put his actual bridle on. Oh, cute! You guys see the cuteness over here. We have matching kitty and pony. Lila and Rosie match. It's pretty darn adorable. And I bet you give Lila a couple minutes and she'll be on that pony. Okay, are you going to shimmy up the side of him, Tova?
Shimmy up the side?
Sure. Yeah, I'm going to have to adjust these stirrups for you. Hold on, don't come up here.
Mommy, he was the first horse that I ever got on from the ground.
That you ever got on from the ground? Mm-hmm. Oh, definitely Bear.
No, it wasn't.
Who?
Lucky.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah. It was at horse camp.
Really? Okay.
When we were getting on,
yeah.
and Beck was helping someone else getting on, so I just boosted myself up.
Okay.
I bet you if Jackson talked, he would be Garfield.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he would just
switch over, please.
eat.
Let's see.
Lila would be normal.
Go over there, please.
Lila would be normal.
Gotta keep everybody on track here. Oh gosh. Okay, so Tova, you can show how you shimmy up the side.
He just showed me.
Hold on. I want to just move him just a little bit because I'm tightening up the saddle. I always want to move my horse right after I tighten, and then I tighten it a little bit more. What?
I didn't think of the three.
Okay. All right, Tova.
Okay.
All right, Tova's going to show you how she shimmy step onto a horse.
She's so soft. Wait.
It's been a while, hey? You just put your knee in there, Philip.
No.
You're going to do it without? Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
And
Can you do it? Oh, that's the first time she's ever gotten on with her foot in the stirrup. She usually puts her knee in there and then shimmies up. They are a smidge long, and this pony is a smidge shorter than hers, but, well, than Bear. I mean, they're all our ponies.
And I'm taller.
And you're taller. That's exciting.
I used to go like, can I go up now?
Just a minute, buddy. Let me get your sister going first, and then I can go.
Mommy, do you know what I don't like about Petra?
What?
That she's a scared cat.
She does spook at some stuff, yeah.
She spooks at outside.
Well, it depends kind of on who's on her, friend. The more brave you are, the less she spooks. And the less you're likely to let her get away with stuff.
Once she spooked on me at Jackson and Lila.
Yep. I know. It happens.
Like, what horse is scared of that?
No. All right, so.
Mommy, we need to like replace some of this stuff.
No, we do. Stop talking like that. Get it down, baby. Yeah. All right. So, do those feel okay? They feel too short. Fine. Okay. All right. So, hey, easy. Just like chill. Go ride. Take it easy. You have to walk him for a while first, okay? All right. We got first child on. Now let's get second child on. And Lucky poops 87 times while he's being ridden. Holy cow, guys. We got 195 people watching you. That's a lot of people.
I have stage fright.
Did you hear Bodie? Bodie, say it again.
I have stage fright.
Yes, stage fright.
I actually
You do. You don't have to have a stage fright, honey. Oh my gosh. 202. Oh my gosh. So many people. That's so cool.
Fright. I totally have stage fright.
Oh, you don't have to have stage fright. Okay.
I do.
Oh, hold on to her. Okay, come on over here. We put a bridle on her? Yeah. Why? I didn't want you on the whole time? Why?
Because I'm not very good at steering it.
Well, honey, there's only one way to get better at it. Come on. Tighten up the saddle. Bodie, go tell everybody who the first person you can't on was. Nope, don't pull that out of there. Go over there.
Miss Kitty.
Go over there and tell them about it. How did it happen?
Because I was just kicking and kicking. And she died.
Well, no.
She's dead up in heaven.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so that's not what I expected him to say.
In heaven a lot.
Yeah, but no, do you remember the day? Remember you guys were playing Pass the Torch. So we were playing a game called Pass the Torch. If you haven't seen that game, you got to go find it. I think it's under I think I have a riding playlist. It'd be in there. But so we were playing a game of Pass the Torch. Oh my gosh, pony. And
Let me see.
just a minute, just a minute. It's just a stick this big. And Bodie realized that all he had to do was touch Miss Kitty on the butt with it, and she would canter. So he's riding along.
No.
And, yes, you
I
were.
was kicking.
But you had that stick, and you kept tapping her with that stick. And she took off into a canter. So that was Bodie's first time cantering alone. Actually, his only time cantering alone. Was on Miss Kitty. So luckily he was on her. He's so good about stuff like that. Okay, come on over on this side, baby. Get on. No. Get on the left side. Huh? He's cantered with me.
On the corner.
All right, let's see you get on that pony. No, wrong foot.
I can't step that high.
Here. Feeding good. Stretching, dude. You can get on her from the ground, goofball. I watched you do it before.
Oh.
He's got his sister's boots on. on because his were all wet.
And I was wearing cowboy boots.
I know, which you would rather wear, which I would rather wear too. Do those feel good or you want them up a notch? Probably up a notch, hey? I don't think you rode. Oh yeah, these are way too. You have to use your stirrups. Because I want you to get used to using your stirrups. If we're going to trail ride this summer, you've got to use stirrups. I'm glad that you can ride without them, but you've got to get used to using them.
But I do not want to see that big bird.
If you have not watched Tova and Bodhi's first trail ride together, all of us as a family, I highly recommend watching that video.
And I got stepped in on the leg by this little lady. Right here.
That little lady. Are those even? Do they feel right, or is one longer than the other?
If I ride Daisy today, if I ride that pony that I got bucked off of, I'll show you. She got spun around really fast, and she decided I had one leg on the saddle, I was on the side, my other leg was on hanging, and then I just fell to the ground.
I don't know if you heard anything she just said, but I don't know if they heard you, Tove. You're kind of far away. Yeah? Are you just saying that? You said that the last time. This saddle desperately needs a crupper, but I don't know how to attach one. If anybody knows how to attach a crupper to a Western saddle that doesn't have a ring on the back, I suppose I probably could have one put on there, but I don't know who I would have to do that. Okay.
What does that sign say that he's holding?
That with the octopus, it says embroidery warehouse.
What?
It says embroidery warehouse.
Oh.
Embroidery?
There's a P.
No, there's not. Professional, affordable, fast, it says. Bodhi likes to know what everything says. All big words that he doesn't know how to pronounce yet. He has to know what they are. Which is awesome. Okay, Lucky already pooped, I know. Is it the only spot for her?
Mommy, he just he's kind of like what faster, and then slow down.
Okay.
Mommy,
What?
were you the one that trained the Kona?
Train the Kona? Yes. Did I do a good job?
Have you had her since she was a baby?
She was 2 when I got her.
Yeah, I saw that picture.
Yeah. She was kind of a spitfire, wasn't she? Kind of a spitfire before. Okay.
What's her name when you got her?
She was Shadow and then Tess and then the same as our puppy.
Go around like a leg.
You want me to have to run? Is that what you're saying? I don't really want to run.
Yeah.
Huh? Not yet. So you can try. Remember, don't get any big picks. I want you to do what you currently do. I gotta grab it from here. Not too.
You know what's good about my pony? Whenever I fall off,
What?
whenever I fall off from my pony,
Yeah.
he'll just stand.
There.
Yeah. Like if he bucks me off, he'll just stand there.
Okay. How about you may go, I want you to trot him for several laps, okay? Work on your posting. And now remember, if he protests going forward, you have to let him know he's got to go. Well, he's just going to canter. So Tova is riding with a stick and, or a whip.
With a whip.
a whip, whatever. I call it a stick all the time. A bat, whatever you want to call it. It's a very small one that she can carry just in case she should need it. So the thing that Lucky does is he gets to where, come here, Rosie, come here. He gets to where he'll protest leg, so he doesn't want to go forward, and he'll protest, and he'll kick out a hind leg, and he's been successful with that in the past, whereas he gets a release when he does that. So this pony is very smart and has learned how to get out of doing certain things. So Tova is able to use his stick, so she gives him a little leg pressure, and if he says, no, I'm not going, then she can give him a little tap anywhere. It can be on the shoulder, it can be on the butt. It's better usually to tap on the shoulder in this situation because sometimes kids especially get in the habit of tickling a horse with a whip. And that's my biggest problem with using a whip when you ride is a lot of riders accidentally tickle the horse. And the horse gets frustrated with that. They don't like the feel of that. And so they learn to actually buck from using a whip. So that's a pretty common thing that I see.
Stuck inside there?
That's there, honey, because my battery is there. So, and Lucky's coughing a little bit. Whoopsie. Lucky's got a touch of heat. After he trots around, it usually gets better. And when there's dust, it's pretty bad.
Dust?
Yeah, we don't have a lot of dust in here today, so that's nice. But it's just something that happens, and it's more seasonal too. So.
And then he sneezes because.
Yeah, and he'll cough because it just kind of tickles his throat. But go trot around a little more, babe.
I'm getting my whip.
You're getting your whip fixed, okay. He looks tired. He's being very good for not being ridden for a month. So I'm gonna head into the middle with Bodie while Tova trots around, and then she'll do a little canter each way on him.
Is that Tova right there?
What? Yeah, on the screen, honey.
That's far away.
It does, I know. The camera does really weird things. So I'm gonna bring the camera a little bit closer just so we can maybe get a little better. Here. Okay, guys.
You know what I do with my whip sometimes?
What?
I'll do this with it. Put it so.
Yeah. Okay. Go for a trot, baby. But it's tapping him on the butt now. Didn't like that. Sorry. So, and you got to focus on where you're going. Okay? Make sure that you trot both ways. Use your legs first. There you go. Good job.
He's such a funky trot.
He does. He's a little harder to sit. So use your legs. Go away though.
Can we put Lila up here?
Not yet. Maybe at the end, okay? about 40 degrees, 45 maybe right now. When's the video gonna be done? I don't know. Whenever we're done.
And that's going to be in 5 minutes.
Okay, drop. Go. Yep.
When Bodie's got to hurt, can you kind of swing me around on that if you wasn't
No, you can ride her, but I'm not leading you around.
Why?
I'm not leading you.
Ever do that?
You can just ride on your own now. I don't need to lead you.
Now I will never take one around off my hand for talking there. Mommy.
What?
Mommy.
What?
Oh, I got her.
You're gonna cramp. Okay, Tope, go, because I want to see if you can switch directions for you.
Mommy.
Just give him a little squeeze,
Mommy.
and then if he doesn't respond to you, you give him a little tap.
Mommy.
What?
She's like, let's get that kid. Oh, where's my little girl? I am the end of this video. I am not going to do it. You don't have to be in this video. She's like,
No, you don't have to be in the video. Why do you say Frank though?
but
You can stop. I won't make you, that's for sure. What? I will make you. I'll ride my pony. You think I can ride her? No?
well, I don't think your leg would touch the ground.
Remember, Tola, just a little squeeze and smooch. Keep your shoulders back. Remember, if you stop, you don't want to go forward. You want to keep your butt back. Yeah, beautiful. He's kind of like half person canter, you know. He's kind of like still trotting a little bit. It looks like he gets her. But he wants to sit tall and shoulders back. Yeah, sit tall, shoulders back. Good. Hands stay quiet. Good, that's beautiful. Oh my goodness. Pretty nice for his first ride in over a month. Just make sure it's on your turn so I'm not hitting, okay? Why don't you turn it? Put your hand with the heel down. Whoopsie. Turny. Think about, sit up tall, honey, and think about your hands. There you go. Now straighten them up. Good, nice job. So right there, when he does that to you, that's when you want to give him a little tap on the shoulder with that whip. Let him know to move on. Good, straight. Good, give him a squeeze. Tap. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so I'm going to talk about that. I hope everybody was able to see all that. So what Lucky was doing, I bet you she wasn't in frame when that was happening. So
Can I get out of this video?
you don't want to be in the video? Okay. So what was
I wanna go
happening
inside.
is Lucky was, you want to go outside just and play? Is that what you want to do?
I want to go inside.
Oh, inside, yeah, you can go ahead and hop down. So with Lucky, what he'll do, well, you got to say goodbye to everybody, buddy. Come on, say goodbye.
Bye.
Okay, go put your helmet away. Okay, so when Tova is,
Mommy, can I hop on?
not yet, walk around a little bit first.
No.
Go through this right here, buddy. So when Tova is asking him to go somewhere, so she simply just changed direction, and he's like, but no, I want to go the other way. And he does this thing where he'll just kind of dive his nose down and he'll kick out. And the thing with, here, he might do it again. The thing with little riders is they just don't have the timing yet. It's all about the timing, and not even just the size. You know, the fact that they're little, the horses can pull them around a little bit. Come on out here. So the horses can pull them around a little bit. Jason just walked in. Here, Jason, I got a horse ready for you to ride.
Yeah.
Jason just went for a run.
Hello.
Can I show you my canter?
Yep.
Look at that beautiful departure. Keep him going. Squeeze, tap him on the shoulder. Good. Nice job.
Nice
Sit up
hands.
tall. Shoulders back. Oh, do it again. Good. That looks beautiful.
Nice hands.
Don't let him stop here. Don't let him stop here. Go, go, go. Oh, wrong lead. So just think trot now. Canter off. Canter off. Squeeze. 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 Yes. Nice job, babe.
Keep them going. Keep them going.
Good.
All right, don't slow down here. Keep right through. Right through.
Yep. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Good. Now you can think slow down if you want to. That was lovely. Lucky used to have a really hard time with his right lead, so I'm happy to see him do so good with that. Good job, baby. You gonna ride this wild beast or no? Should have Daddy take you for a run on her. There you go. Tova wants to be led around for some reason.
What's that?
She wants to be led around on Rosie. I'm like, no, you can ride her on your own. Bodie got cold,
Yeah.
and he had stage fright.
Did he get scared?
He said he's like, I have stage fright.
He ran those.
Yeah. It was pretty funny.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
You did a really great job, Tove. See, I think Lucky knew I made this video about him, and he felt bad. So he's like, well, I have to prove that I'm an amazing pony, so I'm not the least favorite. Right, Tove? He did pretty good, didn't he? Yeah. So I asked Tova earlier, because I have great video from this summer of her riding Lucky at my mom's, and I introduced her to sugar plums. They're just these little berries that grow on the trees here. And Tova was in the bushes picking sugar plums, and Lucky was just standing there, happy as can be. And then she'd take off and she'd go cantering around my mom's arena. And I asked her, I said, didn't we go on a trail ride that day? And she's like, nope, I've never ridden him on a trail ride. Well, sure enough, I found video footage from her riding on a trail ride. And
I remember we went on a trail ride, but I thought it was one that we did when you took like Sarah and a whole bunch of other people.
Do you remember the trail ride where, was it
Daisy.
it was a turkey?
No, it's a toucan, remember?
Yeah.
Everybody's like, it's a toucan.
But it was turkeys, right?
Yeah, it was a turkey flew
And
up in front of.
The turkeys flew up in front and the horses took off.
Yep.
I think that's on your channel.
Yeah, that's like my favorite video. So if you haven't seen the video, you have to go and watch
Mommy,
it.
I have a picture that I want you to print up. The one where you were training Nicola and you print it up.
Okay, I can do that.
All right.
So, but on that trail ride where Tova rode Lucky, she was even leading the trail ride, but she didn't remember taking him on that ride. I'm like, wow. So are you riding her or are you not riding her? No. No? You're done? Okay. All right.
Daddy, are you heading in with me?
I'm going to head in.
Okay.
Well, here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you bring him over here. You can go in the house because you're probably frozen. And I will take care of ponies. And I will talk to folks and let you know why Lucky has ranked the least favorite.
Old one eye.
Yeah. Good boy. Good boy. Okay. You may hop down later.
Especially this week.
Huh? Yep, this week. Will you please go put your whip in the bucket that's up there, though?
Look at what?
There's a bucket in front of stall one if you just put it in there. Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Oh, and Tova, I do need his halter, which is the rainbow one, you know that. And then we'll sit and
I'm
talk.
heading in.
You can head in. Yep.
See ya.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye, viewers that love to meet me.
Hey, do you have anything you want to tell him?
Don't forget to hit that subscribe button.
That was so lame. Oh, all right. Let me get Lucky's bridle off, and then we'll have a little conversation here. Okay, sweetheart. Please don't hit the camera, buddy. All right. So Lucky used to be pretty bad about when the bridle came off too. He was pretty bad about beating you up with his head. That's just kind of always been his go-to. And you know, I've had people call me the pony ambassador because I just love ponies. And I am the first one to stand up for a pony. And I just don't think that ponies get enough credit. I think they're given so much crap. And what people don't understand is it's not the pony's fault for being the way that they are, okay? So with Lucky, all of his habits that he has they're all taught. Every single bit of that are all taught. And he's a lot better about it now. And I'm talking over years. This pony's actually had, I think, quite a few owners. And he's such a good boy. He really is. So I'm gonna tie these guys up here so we can just have a little chat, because it'll be easier. And it'll be good for them to just hang out tied for a little bit. Okay. So let's go on over here and have a little visit, and I'll keep the camera on the ponies so you guys can just kind of look at them instead of looking at me, because that's a little bit more interesting. There. Okay. Now I can see everything that you have to say. All right, so the fact that, yes, my husband does ride. He does. He's a really busy guy and doesn't have a lot of time. So we're trying to change that, but we rode together a lot for many years, but he just doesn't have a lot of time right now. So it's just kind of how it works. But yep, he's a very good rider. I'll make sure to get him involved in some videos here pretty soon too. Since he is home, he works a lot when he's home. So, all right. I'm happy that my kids rode today. Here's the thing is kids get so cold so quick, and I don't push it with them at all. And I don't want to ever push my kids to ride because I don't want them to not like it, okay? So during the colder months, I don't make them ride ever. So during the summer, they want to ride. They want to be riding all the time. And Bodie had so much fun trail riding last fall. He can't wait to do that. And he's just like, he doesn't see the sense of just going around in circles. But he gets frustrated with his steering. You know, he's not totally getting the reins quite yet, and so he gets frustrated. But Rosie also, again, Rosie has only been ridden by kids. She's too small for me to ride, and so therefore she's not as fun for somebody who's a beginner because she doesn't understand as much. So that's really gets kind of difficult. And he does like he really loved riding Miss Kitty because she would go where he asked. And Rosie, she'll sometimes kind of protest it a little bit, and then he gets frustrated. So now let me tell you a little bit about Lucky, okay? So Lucky, we adore him. We absolutely adore him, and I feel very fortunate that we have him because Lucky he belonged to one of my clients, and was a great starter pony for this young lady who is now a teenager. It's crazy, but kids grow so fast. So Lucky was with this family for probably 5 years. And he's originally from Canada, and I believe that's where he lost his eye, was in one of the first homes that he lived in. And however many homes that he was in after that, I don't know. But I would like to do some investigating to learn a little bit more about him. But here's what I don't like about Lucky. He is, well, like this morning, for instance, I look out the window. Well, first of all, I came out to the barn this morning, and everybody was, where they were supposed to be. And then not half an hour later, I'm in the house, and I look out the window, and sure enough, the little bugger is in the manure pile. And here's what drives me nuts about that. So I've got these hay boxes that I fill every day, and the hay in there lasts at least a full 24 hours. So they've got hay available all the time. And here he is in the manure pile eating hay that's been peed on and is gross when he's got everything he needs in his pasture. So that's the thing that really bothers me about him. Look, he looks at me like, what? He's an opportunistic, okay? He sees an opportunity and he takes it, and he doesn't respect fencing at all. So he sees it as, well, it's only going to hurt for a moment when I go through the electric fence, and he'll just duck his head and blast through that fence until it breaks. And that drives me nuts, because there's been times where, like, a month straight, I'm out fixing fence unless I lock him in a stall or put him in a round pen or whatever. So it's just one of those things that makes me crazy. So, and I worry about the other horses too. Like the big horses, they're all really good about it, but I think about like Rosie and Daisy, they could get out very easily. And the way that I've got things set up around my house, for the most part, he only goes through the fence in an area that has other fences, so he's gonna be relatively contained. But it's scary. It's so scary to think of him letting all the other horses loose. And that's why I chose not to put him with Manzer, is because the area that they're in, all it would take is for Lucky to go through. Well, now all of a sudden my colt is loose too, and they're heading down the highway. So I don't like that at all. So I got to figure out what to do. I really don't know how to fix a horse who will go through fencing just for the sheer fact that they can. That is not something that I have any idea how to fix. There are, times of the year where our fence is really, really hot, and he seems to respect it pretty good, but in the winter, it is nearly impossible to keep our fence hot. Now, for the most part, in the winter, he never tries to go outside the fence because the snow's too deep, he can't. And there's really only one area that he will bust through. And I know the fence works where he busts through, but he doesn't care. He'll just go through it. And like I said, he goes and like hangs out in the manure pile. Like he's not even eating grass somewhere or into anything worthy of doing that. And then I walk out and he's like, oh, hey, how's it going? So, yep, that drives me bonkers. And there's just really no good way to fix it besides getting completely different fencing. And the fact that I've had horses my entire life, and I've never owned a horse who did that. They all were pretty smart about it. So he also is an opportunistic with gates. So if you watched my video from 2 days ago of the ponies playing, there was a moment where I brought all the ponies, or I brought the two ponies in, and Manzer came up with us, and I turned them loose. Well, Bear and Manzer were more than likely going to just kind of hang out in the arena, but Lucky saw the arena door open as an opportunity to escape. And I'm standing right there, but he doesn't care. He will blow by anybody that's standing in a doorway or a gate or, of a stall, whatever, and he'll just take that opportunity. So here I'm standing there, and I couldn't shut the door because I had to do a little bit of shoveling first and then could shut the door, where the others, I could keep them away, no problem, but he will duck and dive until he figures out a way to get past you. And he's knocked people over. So I work with him with the gates often because he'll get to where when I let horses in for their grain, if he gets pushy at the gate or chargy at all, I put the halter on and I sit and I work him back and forth through the gate. And I can do a video on that for anybody that's having issues with a horse that goes through the gate quickly. But for him, he's just so fast. So if I'm able to see him, but he'll just kind of duck and dive around other horses and just sneak right through. And that's the biggest thing, is being able to just be one up on him, because he is so smart. Now, Shul, you're saying for me to hop on him. I have ridden Lucky, no problem. So I would guess that he's about 500 pounds. Rosie's 300 pounds. So I think Lucky's 500 pounds. And I weigh, what did I weigh? I weigh 140. I just weighed myself at 140. Usually I'm between 130 and 140 pounds. So I do fall in the range where I feel like it is safe for me to ride him. Now, I would not ride him for any length of time, but I definitely have no problem just hopping on him and riding him around just to give him a little tune-up. So that's definitely not an issue. Where with Rosie, I can't do that. She's too little. I'm definitely way too heavy. So, you know, there's a lot that goes on where people are, you know, judging others for their size and the horses that they ride. So if somebody did see me on Lucky, they would have a really hard time with the fact that I am on this little pony. And I'm 5'3", so I do look ridiculous on him because he's only, 11 hands or so. But weight-wise, he can easily carry me, no problem. But again, like I said, I'm not going to go ride him for hours. I'm going to ride him for 10 minutes here and there to give him a little tune-up, and there's nothing wrong with that. So he's actually really fun to ride. He has a fantastic canter, really fabulous canter. It's very, very nice. So, but yeah, I am, like I said, I am the pony ambassador. I am always standing up for ponies because I feel so bad for them. People are so judgmental over ponies, and I don't feel that way at all. I feel like a horse is a pony, whatever, is a direct reflection of who has ridden them. And, you know, Rosie just doesn't have a lot of experience. So now that Tova is getting pretty confident and can just get on and ride her around, and we'll get so much accomplished this year. And same with Daisy. She's doing really good at Daisy. But there's been a long time since Daisy's really been ridden much. So it's nice to have somebody now that is willing to just get on her and ride her. I love that. So a little bit more about Lucky. Okay, so he's opportunistic with the gaits. And these are things that he has just developed. Like, I look at it as there's things that are just bred into a horse. And so he is a survivor. That little guy will survive. So he sees it as, well, I want to go over there, and he's going to find a way to do it. And I love that he has a lot of will to him and determination. So when you give him a job, he's really good at it. So that's something that is very positive about it. But the little bugger going through my fence every day, it does drive me nuts. So now, with that being said, since he is such an opportunistic, I have a good idea of how he probably lost that eye. There's a good chance that he may have tried to go through a fence or do something, and that's how he lost his eye. It just doesn't surprise me at all, because he's kind of a daredevil. You know, he'll just do it. Barry, that's very cool that your one horse will stop the other one from going through the fence. You know, the way I look at it is, with this guy, I don't think there's any chance of something like that happening. I mean, he is quicker than, I mean, I can be watching him and try to catch him, and it is hard to catch him. So now, Lily, you're asking about weight-wise. So basically, horses comfortably carry 20 to 25% of their body weight. Depends on, I think it's so vague. It's very, very vague, and I could do an entire video just explaining that. But like I said, think about how much I weigh, how much his pony weighs, and I can ride him, and it's not an issue. Now, am I going to take him to a show and ride him? No, I would look ridiculous, and oh my gosh, everybody would judge me up and down. But, you know, I don't really care about that, clearly. But, you know, I'll get on and ride him for 10 minutes, and it's not an issue. It's not an issue at all. Ponies can actually carry more weight, especially like like Muffin is a little thicker built pony. And look at Rosie. Rosie is super stocky. They're just stronger, sturdier, and they can handle a lot more. When I say he has a good canter, what do I mean? His canter is super comfortable to ride, and he's like a little miniature Frisian the way he canters. He's very elevated in the front end. He's got good natural balance in his canter. It's very comfortable. You could ride his canter all day. He's got a great canter. His trot, on the other hand, can be pretty rough. It's a lot better. It's so much better than it used to be. It was really hard to sit his trot for a long time. So, oh, stop. I got cats sitting on my lap drawing at her. This is not good. So, with Lucky, let me tell you another thing about him. And this 100% is based on, for one, his determination, but for two, whoever's riding him. Now, I firmly believe that when you're on a horse, it's your responsibility to redirect them and keep them safe and out of trouble. And unfortunately, what happens with the lesson horses sometimes, not even lesson horses, just inexperienced riders or riders that are not confident, is if they get into a position where they're not comfortable, the first thing they want to do is pull back on the reins and stop the horse. So let me tell you a situation as an example. Let's say we've got a handful of horses, so 3 or 4 horses riding around here, and one horse gets a little too close to the other horse. Well, the rider on the horse that's getting closed in on pulls back on the reins because they're nervous. Well, now all of a sudden that horse just became trapped and feels like they have no other option but to kick the horse that's next to it to get it away. Okay? So that's how horses learn to kick other horses when they're being ridden, all right? And there's the whole, like, have you ever heard of like the small guy syndrome, you know? Where like little dogs, for instance, little dogs typically have a big attitude. So it's the same for ponies. You know, they've got to be that way for survival. So here's the thing with Lucky is he will go out of his way. If there's another horse in here, he will go out of his way to kick at that horse. And he will wait for them to come up within reach, and he will actually stop mid-track, no warning to the rider, very clear warning. Like if a real experienced rider's on there, they can feel it coming. But he will just run backwards and blast another horse. And so that scares the crap out of riders. Clearly it will. But Lucky, and Bear will do that too. So it is very common for these little guys to be very defensive of their space. But it really, really boils down to needing a more experienced rider and keeping them in situations where they can stay safe. So it's a pretty big deal. So, but Lucky, not having an eye on the left side too, makes him a little bit more defensive. Because if he feels like someone's coming up in his space, he kind of acts before he thinks. So he doesn't confirm, oh, it is another horse up in my space. He'll just go firing off a kick. So I'll give you a situation, one of my horse camps. And this was so scary that this happened. But one of my counselors, we were trying to get a rider. We had, there was like 3 instructors out here, maybe 5 riders. And we were trying to get one of the riders to stop getting so close to the others. We try very, very hard to teach everybody the importance of keeping your space. But kids especially just don't understand that. I mean, you just have a conversation with a kid and you can tell. Kids just don't know any better. They just run up into your space and they don't understand. So same goes for horses. So if anything, horses are really good about teaching kids personal space. So anyway, this was Courtney. Courtney is trying to explain to a rider to get away from another horse, okay? So she moved in the direction of the rider that kept getting in on everybody's space, and Lucky sensed that somebody was there, but didn't really see her, and Lucky kicked out with both hind legs and nailed Courtney in the stomach. Now, it was such a freak accident, and he was like moving away from her at the time, so Courtney didn't feel like she was in the way at all, but Lucky just felt Petra coming up, and yeah, just nailed her. And him not, like, he wouldn't intentionally kick somebody, a person, unless he felt threatened or something. You know, most of my horses would never do anything like that. And honestly, the only horse that I own that's ever kicked me is Miss Kitty. Well, I lie. Miss Manzer, when he was about a week old, maybe a few days old, I kind of startled him when he was laying down, and he jumped up and kicked me in the belly. But so yeah, we all learned from that. All the kids in that camp learned from that. And I mean, all of us counselors have been around horses for many, many, many years, and we were all kind of shocked too, because it just happened so quick. And we thought that there was enough space, but clearly there wasn't. And you know, when a horse is moving away from you, the last thing you expect is for them to stop and kick you. So it was a scary situation, but everybody learned. And you know, moving forward, there's been other situations too where Lucky has, in most cases where he's kicked at another horse, it's been because the rider that's on him gets scared and then pulls back and gives him no choice but to kick at another horse because they come up in his space. And it happens fast. So I'm really fussy about who rides Lucky. And he's a great lesson horse because he teaches so much. And he really does, like I say, has a fabulous canter, so he's really fun for people to learn how to canter on. But he's also one too, like, he will poop 15 times in a ride. And he'll just, like, hit the brakes from a canter right down to nothing and poop. He has a really hard time pooping and walking. And I guarantee, you know, what I always say is I try to tell riders, keep your horse going when they're pooping. If anything, they'll learn to just not poop when you're riding them. And it's funny because Nika will not poop when I'm riding her. Many of the horses that I ride don't poop when I'm riding them. They just hold it, or they wait till they are stopped somewhere. They can figure that out. It's okay. And so I typically will make a horse continue to move while they're pooping. And Buck Branneman says it really good. He's like, I bet if they had a lion chasing them, they wouldn't stop to poop. And horses are prey animals. They are meant to do everything on the fly. And you watch them in the field, most of the time they stop to poop. But if everybody's running around and being silly, sure, they'll poop when they're trotting or cantering or galloping across the field. They do it all the time. I see it. So, but anyway, so that's my thing with Lucky. So Lucky has, in my program, I have only ever had one person besides myself get kicked by a horse. And that was a student that I had a heck of a time, but it was about a 9-year-old kid, and I had a hard time getting this kid to stay away from the horses behind. Now, Miss Kitty was real expressive, so if the flies were bad, there could be one fly. The flies wouldn't even need to be bad. There could be one fly that just happened to be in Miss Kitty's general area, and she would like ninja kick at this fly. That's just how she was. Or if she was not exactly impressed with something that was going on, if there was another horse like that was bugging her, she would just stand there and she'd kick straight out. Or if you happen to put the saddle pad on her the wrong way, or how she felt might be the wrong way, she would kick out a hind leg, and it would always be a straight back kick out. And she was really good at teaching people not to go behind a horse, because you just never knew. She could just be crabby, and she would do that. It was just who she was. And she's been that way since she was little. So it's just how it was. And so there was this rider, this student, who I had to keep telling her, don't go behind Miss Kitty. You cannot do that. You can't forget what you're doing and just walk behind her. You can't do that. And so I'm watching, and the girl rode, and after the ride, I'm watching her, and I couldn't get to her fast enough, and the word couldn't come out of my mouth fast enough, but I saw her, and she just like snuck up behind Miss Kitty, and Miss Kitty is half asleep at the wall, just tied. And the girl walked up behind her, like I said, quicker than I could stop her, and she picked a piece of hay out of her tail And so here's Miss Kitty, half asleep, and she just got goosed from behind. And so she just immediately kicked back and just skimmed the kid's leg. But oh my gosh, it was a good lesson for the kid. But I probably told that kid a dozen times that day, do not go behind the horse. And you know, with little kids, I know that it's hard for them to understand. But this 9 years old is not little. 9 years old, you can remember things. So it was a situation, it was like, it was a good lesson for that kid, and by golly, she learned from it. So there's nothing I could do about that. So, but anyway, with Lucky, so Miss Kitty being the only one that's ever actually kicked somebody, and she really just skimmed the side of the kid's leg. She probably didn't even make any contact that would have caused a bruise. But with Lucky, he's kicked at other horses, where he has made contact with a couple of riders' shins. And, you know, nobody's ever gotten hurt other than, you know, good-sized bruising, but it's happened. So that's why I chose Lucky. And he this morning went through the fence. And so I'm like, I know what my topic for today is. So I just thought that you guys would be interested to know all that. So I adore him. I think he is a lovely horse. He's got so many amazing qualities, and I will definitely keep him forever, just because, you know, he's very special to our family. But he's got enough of those little things that kind of make me want to pull my hair out sometimes. And it's stuff that is hard for me to correct. So whenever a horse has qualities that are really hard to correct, that's when it's frustrating. So for him, the only way that I'm going to fix his fence breaking issues is to put up all new fencing. And that's really frustrating because I have what I have. And I can't afford to re-fence my entire farm for one pony. The one that is disrespectful to the fence. And like I said, I had one gal one time, her daughter was leasing him for well, they were working out some things with her own horse. And so she brought Lucky into his stall, and he flung his head up in the air. And this was not long after I got him. So he was pretty bad about it still. But he'd fling his head up in the air when you go to take his halter off. And I actually have a video. I don't remember which one it is, but I'll find it and I'll put it in his playlist. Now that I think about it, it was one of just my random vlogs. But he did it to me and hit me in the face. But so with this gal, her name's Tammy, my friend Tammy, he flipped his head up to get the halter off, and he cracked her in the nose, and it was like somebody turned on a blood faucet. Oh my God, blood just poured out of her nose. And she had kind of a nicer shirt on, and she came up to the arena, the two barns, so she was in the small barn, and she came up to the arena with just blood everywhere. And her mom was here, and her daughter was here, and they were like, oh my gosh, what happened? I mean, it looked like she just got into a major fist fight. It was terrible. But I have never had any horse cause as many injuries as Lucky. And it's all been stuff like that. So he bashed me in the face. Like I said, it's in that one video. And I think it might be the manners at feeding time. I'll go look and I'll put it in his playlist. Like I said, you guys will have to check that out. He's only got a couple of videos in his playlist so far, but I'm trying to make sure that every horse has got quite a few things in their playlist. So if you're not familiar with my playlists, that's how I keep everything organized. So if you want to follow one horse in particular, go to their playlist and just hit play and watch it all the way through, because you'll hear the whole story on that horse. And I'm still adding a lot of videos to Miss Kitty's playlist, because there's a couple months that you guys didn't see things go on, and it was hard because, you know, my phone would freeze, whatever. I couldn't do these live videos for sure. And I got some editing to do, but just know that there's more coming on Miss Kitty that I'll be adding into her playlist, so they're all in chronological order. And same with Manzer. Manzer, I'm still adding a few to his, but gosh, I think he's got close to 100 videos in his. So Lucky's only got a few, but I'll be adding more to him. I'll make sure to go through everything and find find videos that show him, because he's pretty special to us. But I think that's all of my issues with Lucky. He's really good at being in a stall. He's nice and quiet. He's a great little trail horse. Oh my gosh, he will lead, he will follow, he will do anything on a trail. He's just wonderful. He gets a little bug up his butt now and again and gets spunky. Like if another horse like goes cantering by him, he kind of feels the need that he has to race them, and if the rider doesn't let him go, he will buck. So we're real careful about stuff like that, but for the most part, he's pretty wonderful. And he gets along so good without having that eye. He really does a good job. But we've worked through a lot of little issues with him, but he's coming along so good. Shul, I'm not getting on him. I'm not going to ride him tonight. He did so darn good for Tova. I'm going to leave him alone. I will ride him one of these days, just for more comedy than anything. I'll ride him bareback, and you guys can see me probably fall off of him since he's got such a bouncy little trot. So I'm confident that he can carry me no problem. Oh, Rayleigh is your, oh, Rayleigh, hi, how's it going? I miss you. I know you really enjoy riding him, but I bet you there was a time, well, you've fallen off of him, but there was a time where I'm sure that he maybe wasn't your favorite. But see, that's how it goes. Like, I have all these kids. You guys, I have like 250 kids that ride at my barn. It's chaos. It's total chaos, and I love it. I miss them all so much. So it really makes me happy when I see my kids that are watching on here. It's cool that they can see part of the barn. But what's cool, though, is I take riders and have them on certain horses that are good for them to start with, and then we switch to other horses, like when they do my horse camps. They get the opportunity to ride every horse, and it's really fun. So, yeah, that's right, Rayleigh, you fell off of them at your first horse camp. I think everybody, that is kind of the thing, is like everybody falls off Lucky. Lucky is always the one that somebody falls off of too. That's another thing on his list, is like, oh my gosh, everybody falls off of Lucky. So, but then once you get to a certain point, it's like he's so fun to ride. He's so fun. And there's a handful of kids that would probably fight over him given the opportunity because they have so much fun with him. I got some teenagers, like I said, they still fall within the weight bracket. They have to ride him bareback. But it's so good to have my more advanced riders, my preteens and small teens, that it's fun for them to ride him because they can help tune him up, and they just enjoy him. And honestly, I think these smaller horses really do enjoy when some of the older kids ride them, because they're really good with their hands, and it's a fun ride for the horse too. Kathy, yes, the fact that he has limited vision, sure. I think that really had a lot to do with the situation with Courtney, because he thought for sure that he was kicking at that other horse, and I don't think he would have kicked if he had seen Courtney. And it was just such a freak thing. But honestly, Cindy, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Cindy used to own Lucky. So she knows what I'm talking about with some of this stuff, and other of this stuff she probably didn't even know existed, just because he's never been in that situation with someone else that he is with me. When you throw a horse into a group setting with a bunch of beginner riders, things change. Things totally change. But so I lost my train of thought. What was I just talking about? Gosh darn it. Let me think here for a minute. See, that's what happens to me. I kind of get off track. I get excited because I see somebody pop up on the screen, and then I get off track of what I was actually talking about. Oh, his vision. Yes, thank you. Thank you, guys. So let me tell you this, though, because Bear does very, very similar. If I didn't have Bear, I would honestly think that it was mostly his vision, okay? But Bear does it, too. And now Bear has, a lot of hair, and it's always in his face. That doesn't have anything to do with it. He can see wonderfully. There's never a question in my mind over whether Bear can see or not. That's for sure. So Bear does the same thing, though. So this is 100% caused There's two things here. 100% rider, okay? So when riders are nervous and they pull back, it traps. They're more than likely, or they're more times than not, they're ridden by littler riders who don't have the experience, okay? So where I try to get as many riders, including myself, on these horses and these ponies as possible, but like Rosie, that's not an option. And then Kathy, that was my next thing that I'm going to say is ponies in general, they got that little small guy syndrome going on, and they feel the need to defend themselves. Now, what's funny is if you watch them, though, so when they're in the arena, they get away with that stuff a lot. So when they're in the arena and another horse comes by and they pin their ears and threaten to kick, the other horses don't do anything about it because they can't. They're being ridden by someone else who's more than likely preventing it. But in the pasture, if this little guy was going to go and pin his ears and try to tear into one of those big horses, he would get pummeled. It's not allowed. So they're also learning that when they're in the arena, that the bigger horses don't retaliate like they would out in the pasture. It's all learned. This is so learned. So there's a lot to it. There's so much to it. So you guys, give some ponies some slack. Yeah, so get this with Nakona. I forget who was riding Lucky. I forget who was on him, and I won't remember, I'm sure. But so I'm riding Nakona, and Lucky goes by me, and there was plenty of space, but I was kind of on the wall, and somebody that was on Lucky passed me. And Lucky pinned his ears and stopped dead in his tracks and just fired both hind legs into Nakona's shoulder. He didn't kick me, he just kicked Nakona's shoulder. But imagine if he were to do that in the pasture. She would whoop the tar out of him. There's no way that would be okay. Now, she had her ears pinned, but that horse knows when I'm on her that tearing into other horses is not something that we do. She has never once been allowed to kick another horse, to bite another horse, nothing like that. I can have Bear ride behind her and have his nose right up her tail, and she will 100% tolerate it. But I'm watching every little thing that she does. And if I even thought that for a moment she might kick or do something, I would have her feet hustling so quick she wouldn't know what just happened. So that's the thing. These ponies, that doesn't happen with them. Kids just don't have good timing yet. They don't understand. So they don't catch that kind of stuff in time. So they get away with a lot of stuff. Okay, well there's my, so there's my video was somewhat clickbaity. So I apologize if any of you feel like you've been clickbaited, because we do love Lucky very much. But if I had to choose one that drives me nuts the most, it's him. What are some breeds that I've never ridden? I have never ridden a miniature horse. Let's see. I have never ridden, there's quite a few gaited breeds that I've never been on. I've never been on a saddlebred or a standardbred. I have never been on an Akelteki. Let me think here. I'm sure there's a lot of breeds that I've never been on. I really like Friesians. I think they're super cool. Quarter horses are my go-to. I love my quarter horses very much. He was like, oh, something just happened. I got scared. So, but yeah, there's plenty of horses. I've been on a Morgan. Yep, I rode a Morgan when I was a kid. Let me think of what else. I don't know. I can't think of any other horses. I've ridden a Belgian, a Shire, a Clydesdale. You know, I don't know if I've ever been on a Percheron. Oh, yep, I've been on a half Percheron Friesian Cross. I rode one of them. I've never ridden a Missouri Foxtrotter. Australian Brumby, I've never ridden one of those. I have ridden a Friesian, yes. I could do a whole video just on horses I've ridden and haven't ridden. Yes, I've ridden a full Frisian. I had one here for a while. You guys are giving me a lot of great video ideas here too. That's really awesome. So there's all kinds of things that we can talk about. I'm sure I could do a video every single day and never run out of something to talk about horses. I could do it every single day. I have never ridden a hackney. No. See, okay, now here's another thing too. Now I got a bucket list going. So I've had this bucket list going, honestly, my whole life. I've always been the type of person where if there's a horse, I want to ride it, you know? And when I was a kid, I remember going to horse shows, and if somebody let me ride their horse, I was so excited. Like, my goal was just always to get on every horse that I possibly could. And, you know, it's been, my whole life I've been like that. And I've always wanted to own a lot of horses too. My dream was always to have 10 horses. And so now I have plenty. But I really like as many horses as I can get on. I really like that. Have I ridden a cow? Yes. I have ridden a cow. But I also have a goal, it's my bucket list, to ride a horse in every state. Okay? And I've crossed quite a few states off, some states off. So I want to ride a horse in every state, and I want to ride as many different breeds as possible, every breed of horse that I can get on. So that's where you guys can help me out. How cool would it be? How cool would it be for me to be able to travel around sometime, and I get to travel to these different states that I've never ridden in, and get to go and ride different breeds. So I could maybe meet a subscriber sometime, go to a state that, there you go, I could go to Arizona, Mary. I could go to Arizona and I could ride maybe a breed or two of horse that I've never ridden. So I meet up with some subscribers and ride some cool horses and visit some different parts of the country. And then after I finish the United States, I can move on to other countries. I have ridden in Canada, so I can mark that off my list. Missouri Foxtrotter, sweet. Well, Mary, we're all set. I'll come to Arizona and ride your Missouri Foxtrotter if you let me. I think that'd be so fun. And then I could document the whole journey every time I go somewhere. Oh, cool. I'd love to go to Scotland. Your hobby horse. That's awesome. Of course you'll tag along. Of course you will. You guys are funny. This is awesome. I'm having a ball with this. Yes, I have ridden a Canadian horse. Yep. Not in Canada, but I've ridden two. So that was pretty cool. All right, guys. Well, fun. It was so nice talking with you today. And yes, I would love to go to Delaware and ride a horse on the beach. That would be awesome. I've ridden a horse in Hawaii. That was awesome. So I'll start making my list. I'll share my list with you guys. The biggest horse I've ever ridden was a Shire, and I was 10 years old. I have a photo of that. Here's what I'll do, guys, okay? Are you familiar with the community page on my channel? So if you go to my channel and go to the community page, I will post a picture there later tonight of me, 10 years old, riding a Shire, and I will post a little story about that, okay? So you guys go to the community page tonight and check that out, okay? And I think that's a great place to go. It's calling me right now, so I think I better go. So thank you guys so much. Why is this not switching? Oh, weird. I somehow managed to, do you guys see what's happening? Watch, I can flip it, but it just swaps. I don't know what to do. I was gonna turn it on my face so I could say goodbye to everybody. So, yeah, I don't know how to do that. You can't see anything? Uh-oh, I don't know what's going. Okay, guys, well, I screwed up my screen somehow, so thank you guys so much. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.